A little bit harder on the Americans, who had a very long semi-final matchup, so they haven't had all that much time to rest up for the final. But it is Patterson who gets us underway. And here comes Allison on the spike. Patterson gets hands to it, but can't control it. He's someone who just lives every moment, isn't he, Allison? If you were able to join us for the semi-final, you would have seen him geeing up the crowd when they were needing the most. They were in a real hole. They dropped the first set to the Canadians, and were also 4 or 5 points down in the second, but they found a way to win, as they have done so often on the World Tour this year. Gibb just sprawling. Does a good job on the dig and does an even better job on the spike. Big hit from the 39-year-old. There's two monster semi-finals for both of these teams. They were dramatic in every sense of the word. The Americans had to save 5 set points in the first set against the Germans in the semis. And they're able to win that set, and it was a good job they did, because they lost the second. Had to win through in the deciding set. That's a big hit from Bruno. Patterson again able to get hands to it, but unable to control the full force of the spike from the Brazilian. Yeah, they said in the interview after that semi-final win, Patterson and Gibb, that they were tired and that they were going to try and rest up and hydrate as much as they could. They've played a lot of matches this week after losing 2 in the group stage. Beautifully positioned spike right into the corner, just looping it over the blocker. Got up well here, Gibb. It's tough to get it up and over the hands of Allison. It just nicked the side of the line. Good start then by the Yanks. That's a brutal slap down by Bruno. Started this final pretty well. Youngest player on the court is Bruno, 28 years of age. Has 9 career wins, 7 of them on the World Tour. It's Bruno to serve, and he gets Patterson on the stretch. Terrific serve. Does mix it up on the serve, Bruno. And he certainly had Patterson guessing there. Big question of belief today for the Americans. As I say, they've lost 4 times already before in the past to the Brazilians. And of course, it's the question of, can anyone beat the Brazilians right now? And that was well worked by Allison. Bruno spotting the open space across the court. And an early lead here for the top seeds. The song is Can't Touch This, and the Americans were nowhere near to touching that one. Bruno then again targeting Patterson. Can he get it away from Allison? He does get it away from Allison. Very nearly didn't get it away from Bruno. He seems to have a knack of just finding himself in the right place at the right time. But this time, couldn't quite reach it. It was a good call by the Kiwi official to say the ball did just strike the floor before Bruno was able to keep it up. Gibb to serve next. Floats one in, looking to try and cause a bit of confusion in between the two Brazilians. On the dive is Patterson. Keeps the point alive, but Allison will be favourite to finish this one off, and that's exactly what he does. Well, they've been playing together since the start of 2014, but I don't think there's any doubting that they are playing the best beach volleyball of their careers right now. Patterson again, able to receive that one, but he undercooks the spike. Hit it a couple of times in the semi. And it's a big lead already for the Brazilian pair. 7-3 in this first set. Incidentally, they were the first pair to win 4 tournaments back-to-back since August 2010, when Dolhasser and Rogers won in Austria, Poland and Norway and Finland. Can they go one better and win 5? Bruno underneath the spike. High set from Allison. And that gives the Americans time to predict where they were going to go, and this time the net court is kind to Patterson. A little nod of the head to himself. And that stops the rot for Team USA. Shows how fit you have to be. Going from his knees up high to try and put the spike away. Big serve from Patterson, and it's too big, too hot to handle for Allison. And here's the momentum, going to swing back the other way. Look how low it was. Very close to hitting the top of the net. Dipping down on Allison. And the pace of it just too difficult for the taller Brazilian to get control of it. Nice spike down the line from Bruno. Stops the run of points for Team America. Spread himself nice and wide there, Gibb, but can he get a hand on it? I have to say, I love these slow motion reaction shots we always get, showing all the emotions that the players feel out there on centre court. Up comes Patterson, dinks it over the top of Allison. Bruno now with a run-up. Looked like he was going to go big and powerful. Didn't, just caressed it over the net. So tough to predict what these players are going to do. And again, Gibb very close to getting it. It was off his fingertips anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered if it bounced wide. Now getting involved, the Americans full concentration to try and receive the Bruno serve. Patterson to go up. Again, he strikes the net. What a dig that was by Bruno. Can't quite finish the point off, although he has done. Sensational. Is there a better defender in the game? I think not. Back of the hand. Just watch this bit of play. Clipped off the net, maybe gives him a slight bit of time off the back of the hand, a flick of the wrists, and then up on his feet to finish the point off. Just stunning. He was voted the best defensive player in 2013 and 2014, Bruno. I think he's red-hot favourite to win that honour again in 2015. Especially with plays like that. 5 points the difference. Goes down the middle. Gibb, though, is the player to take charge on the American side of the court. But there's Allison with the block kill. Well, we saw plenty of those in the semis. First time today he's been able to do it in the final. And they're being beaten in all areas of the court right now, the Americans. And they seem focused and up for this one, the Brazilian pair. Trying to win their 5th gold in a row. They've made an excellent start. 4 points in a row. Rather unsurprisingly, Team USA calling a timeout, being 6 points down in this first set. Incidentally, if you missed it just a few moments ago, good win for the Canadian pair to pick up the bronze. Schalk and Saxton for the first time in 6 matches getting the better of Erdmann and Matisik, the German pair, to claim that bronze medal. And it did just look in that match that Erdmann and Matisik were struggling in terms of with the amount of matches that they played and the quick turnaround from the semi-final to the bronze medal matchup. And you wonder whether it's going to be the same story here for this team from America. There's the crowd again. Get themselves involved in the action. It's a little more quiet and tranquil out there on Lake Ukiel. I know where I prefer to be, though. Although right now, I think the Americans, after the start of this first set, may well prefer to be out on the lake. They've been comprehensively outplayed at the start of this first set, but as you may well know, in beach volleyball, it doesn't take much for the momentum to swing back the other way. Bruno to serve then. The Brazilians leading 11-5. Patterson does well to keep the point alive, but he's going to struggle to finish it off, which he doesn't. Fires it into the net. It's another point for the Brazilians. You feel they would have taken so much out of that win against the Canadians in the semi-final, just in the manner of how they were able to come back, how they were able to play their best volleyball at the back end of that second set when everything looked to be going against them. Well, that at least stops the run of points against the Americans. Patterson, who's been under pressure early on in this final, able to find the line with a clean strike. Here is Gibb then. He goes down the line to Bruno, who receives it very well. Nice high set, but maybe a little too high and a little too close to the net, allows Gibb to get the block in. They're fighters, this team of Gibb and Patterson. They will keep going in this set, no doubt about that. Gibb to serve again. Will he go down the line again? The answer is yes, he will. Bruno then will be the player to come up and try and spike it again. It's very close to the net, and again, Gibb wins the duel. Talked about the momentum shifting. Is that happening now? A couple of big block kills for the 39-year-old. Doesn't often show all that much emotion, but clearly enjoyed himself on that one. Again, they go to Bruno. Is it going to be third time? It's third time lucky for Bruno. This time gets it away from Gibb at the net, going cross-court. Technical timeout then. It's the Brazilians who lead 13 points to 8.
Dziewczyny zaraz wam pokażą na bank.
Well, Gibb and Patterson have been playing together since 2013. As the crowd again are entertained here. As I say so many times, it's a different dance move. A bit more of a relaxing one, this one. And they can't relax too much, the Brazilians. They've made a good start to this final. Alison has got a number of attributes to his name in terms of awards over the years. Dominated on the world circuit in 2011 and 2012. Won best blocker, best hitter, best defensive player, and teaming up with one of the best defensive players. They make for a pretty mean combination, and they will be a big threat to everything, particularly the season-ending finals in Fort Lauderdale, which take place at the back end of September. Still a few more events to come, though, before that on the world circuit. I'm sure Bruno and Alison will be in Rio next week. Good to see some youngsters around as well. As I say, this is a land that is known, or is called, volley land. And this is one of the reasons they start them young. So, 5-point game. Alison to serve, 13-8 up. Gibb underneath it with the set. Patterson, though, can't get it away from the giant. Alison Sarucci, 6'8" of him. And Patterson with the feeling that so many other players who go up to spike against him feel time and time again. Dipping that one down low. Patterson having to improvise. Not getting away with it. It was held up. I don't think Gibb is too happy with the call, but they're not going to win this argument. Both players very quick to talk to the referee, Richard Cassett. Feel things are tough enough going against the top seeds in the world. Alison again then, floats one down the middle. Patterson taking charge. He'll go up with the spike. It's very close though. It's kept alive by Alison. And again, the point will go to the Brazilians again. This time it's Gibb, who's been adjudged with a double hit. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, you can clearly see then, I think he knew it straight away. So another run of points for Team Brazil. Alison with the serve. Patterson, they switch it over to the right side. And he was always leaning back. Didn't quite seem set before striking it. And you can see, not happy with the situation. And this first set is getting away from them. 9 points, the advantage. Alison and Bruno just 4 points away from taking the first set again. They go short. Here comes Patterson, a little bit more space to work with, but Bruno just so good on the defense. Bruno now with a chance to steal the point. Isn't able to get it away from either of the Americans. Although this will be a scrap. Somehow kept alive by Bruno. It's all a little messy, but it's tidied up in fine style by Patterson. Just a little dink over Alison at the net. So that brings the run of points for Team Brazil to an end. And you feel really at the back end of this set, it's probably too much of a margin for America to come back into it, although stranger things have happened, but they just need to get a bit of momentum maybe to take into the second set. get a bit of belief. That's nice. They've done brilliantly well to keep this point going. Bruno will look to stop it now, though. And he does just that. The power in the spike. Too hot to handle for Patterson. They've been very consistent performers throughout the year, the Americans. Generally finished 9th or higher in most of the events. The only two that they've let themselves down really were at the Stavanger Major Series, where they finished 17th, and in Long Beach, where they finished 25th. But in the final this week... Oh, what a shot that is! That is sensational. Well, he's had a mixed game so far today, Patterson. But there was nothing mixed about this shot. He's had a lot of angle to work with, but Bruno was there. It had to be very, very good, and was. As the noise levels rise again here on centre court. Pretty much a sellout in this 4,000 capacity stadium. Gibb goes to Bruno. Fair way away from the net. It's just helped on. Oh, lovely touch. Here, Gibb just shouting to his partner Patterson there to get there. Those moments are almost in slow motion when the touch is that good, just as you watch the ball slowly drop to the floor. 2 points from taking the first set. Allison to serve. Doesn't tend to go big, and doesn't again. Goes down the line to Patterson. Allison versus Gibb. Bruno gets there. Oh, yes. How many times is he going to steal points? And oh, yes, again. Allison so quick to apologise with the spike, but doesn't really need to apologise for anything. That was just brutal and brilliant from Team Brazil. Look at this get. This time going with the fist. We've seen one with the back of the hand, one with the fist. And it's just dominant beach volleyball at its very best. Allison now to serve. Set point. Patterson underneath it. Gibb with the high set. And that's cheeky, and again the Brazilians keep it alive. They're finding inventive ways to keep the point going. Gibb with it, Allison with the block, and that rather sums up the set. Truly tremendous from both Allison and Bruno. Really, they've outplayed the Americans in every single way. In blocks, in attacks, in spikes, and in defense. And it was a comprehensive first set for the pair who are looking for their 5th tournament win in a row. They take the opening set, 21 points to 10. Big question is, can they keep it going? The Americans didn't do that much wrong, but they just were up against a team who are just playing sensational beach volleyball. And at the moment, with the way that Bruno and Allison are playing, you can't see them losing for a fair while. As I say, they were very close to losing in the semis against the Canadians, but they found a way to win, and that was even more impressive from a position where they were really struggling for form. Well, I'm sure if you're watching these pictures at home, you're probably thinking, I wish I was there. Some highlights then from that opening set, some of the expressions and emotions that have occurred. It's going to take a big emotional effort here from the Americans. They've only once ever taken a set off the Brazilians. That came in the Hague Grand Slam. They were able to win the first set on that occasion, 21-15. It was a match that lasted 55 minutes. They'll be lucky, really, if this gold medal matchup goes that long. Got a good record in Poland, have Gibb-Patterson. Picked up the bronze medal last year at Stary Jablonki. And they're guaranteed a silver here. But they will want the gold, but they've got to somehow find a way to get past a red-hot team of Allison and Bruno. It'll be Bruno to get this second set underway. Patterson underneath it. Patterson going down the middle, and that's better. Haven't had too many clean winners nod of appreciation from Patterson with the setup. Gets it away from those giant arms of Alison. He's an iconic figure, isn't he? Alison-Bruno. Bruno just going about his job too. Really is the perfect combination, isn't it, with these two? Bruno able to leap up and put the ball away as easy as Alison is able to do so. But Alison so good on defense. Sorry, Alison so good on the block. Bruno so good on defense. Although he can't do anything about that. That was a nice spike from Patterson again. And they'll just look to probably stay with the Brazilians early on in this second set to almost play their way into this gold medal match. It's almost as if they haven't really got going yet. They haven't really been allowed to get going. Alison to steam forward and goes big, but it's Gibb with the block. That's better. It was nice and high, the set from Bruno. That's a super block. Just separated his arms at the last second and was able to read where Alison was going to go on the spike. A little slow to react to that, Alison, but got there just about in time. Maybe put him off on the spike, and it's the Americans who leap out to a 4-1 lead in the second set. And maybe they've just taken their foot off the pedal here, the Brazilians. It was so one-sided the first set, you can understand them maybe just resting a little on their laurels. They have to be careful. That is a beautiful little hit, though, isn't it, from Alison? Just showing their class again after a couple of shaky points. Caressed into the open court. Here is Bruno. Goes cross-court, was going for the service ace. As I've said before in commentary, there are two things that really do tend to change the momentum of beach volleyball matches. One is a service ace, the other is a block kill. Maybe Bruno just feeling that his team needed a service ace on that occasion to get themselves going early on in this second set, because they trail by 3. Patterson next up to serve. Goes deep to Alison. Alison now going to go up against Gibb, and this time is able to power it through. Looked like Gibb was in a good position here. Both players going down the line, but just the power and the speed of the snap in the wrist from Alison, too much for both the Americans to deal with. Floated down the middle, Patterson underneath it. They come wide. That's, well, has it been kept alive by Bruno? It has indeed. Go down the middle, and that's wonderfully played. Again, it's the defensive skills of Bruno that are just red hot. He's got such variety on his defense as well, Bruno. And the nick off the net there, maybe just putting off Gibb. Couldn't quite get his hands adjusted in time. Here comes Patterson up against Alison. Now, did that come off of a Brazilian hand? It didn't. So it's an error from Patterson. And it's 5 points all, second set. Just a cool, calm and collected serve from Alison. Patterson going up. And this time, Bruno isn't able to defend it. Gibb now to serve. Down the middle, Alison underneath it. Nice high set from Bruno, but it is wide from Alison. A rare error then from the 6'8" giant. And a shake of the head from the Brazilian. Having worked their way back to level pegging in this second set, the Americans again have a 2-point advantage. Good to see so many young faces in the crowd. It's not the best of receptions from Alison, but it's been terrifically well saved by Bruno. Yeah, Alison just apologising for his receiving skills. He struggled in the semi-final in the first set on receiving some of the serves. He's really struggled on that occasion, but good job he's got such a nimble-footed partner. Bruno then going deep and too deep. So as they change ends, it is the United States who lead by 2 points, 8 points to 6. Having really been comprehensively outplayed in the first set, they've just got themselves together in the second, refocused, recharged. And they've made very few errors in this second set. They need to keep that going, though, against this duo. Patterson down the middle. Bruno underneath it. High set again from Allison, who didn't really commit to that one, and it's almost as if he's carrying an injury. He's just suddenly gone a bit lethargic as the big man. And the Americans win another point on serve. Strange how he didn't really commit to try and keep that point going. Underneath that one, it's just gone off the boil again momentarily, Allison, but gets himself going again. Tremendous spike down the line. Look how high he gets as well. Bears over the net, powers it into the sand. How many times have we seen a shot like that in this tournament? Nice and high for Gibb. Dinks it over the top of Allison, but again, Bruno sprawling is there. Allison just trying to keep the Americans guessing. Gibb off the top of the net, and it is wide. So it's a point for the Brazilians, who are having to scrap and fight hard in this second set just to stay with the Americans. A diving dig from Bruno. He just loves sprawling around at the back of the court. Patterson with the set here for Gibb. Can he make amends for the previous missed spike? The answer is no, he can't. Allison, again, all over the net. Another block kill to his name. Couldn't react to it either, Gibb. The wag of the finger. Just giving the Americans a lesson in how to block kill. Or, that was a nice quick response, though. Good tactics from Team USA. Well, they've led for the entirety of this second set, but it's a tight second set. There's a completely different feel to it to what we saw in the first. Gibb then to serve. Can they extend their advantage before the technical timeout? The answer is no, they can't. 10 points apiece. One more point to play, so who's going to lead before the technical timeout? That's the question. Bruno going to go for a run-up hit, nearly in the boardings. It's a fierce strike to Gibb. Set up by Patterson. Has the angle here, Gibb. And uses it, just guiding it down the line, onto the line. And it's the Americans who go in with a 1-point advantage. They've led the whole way through at the start of this second set. And they lead 11-10 as we hit the technical timeout. 2 titles to the Americans' name throughout their career. They won in Shanghai in 2013 and St. Petersburg this year. They've also finished runners-up before in Corrientes in 2013. But when you compare that to the Brazilians, you look at them individually. Allison has 19 career wins to his name, 16 on the World Tour. And Bruno has 9 career wins, 7 on the World Tour. So again, the crowd will be entertained. A bit more lively this dance. They're also bronze medalist in Gibb-Patterson. Gibb and Patterson. So they have won a number of medals throughout their career. And they're looking to finish the season strong here and possibly qualify for Fort Lauderdale. But they were very disappointed with what happened in Long Beach. And there were question marks over them after losing 2 of their pool matches. As I say, they lost to the Polish pair, Lojak and Cantor, and also lost to Emmanuel and Ricardo, but were lucky to scrape through. But it meant that they had to play an extra match. And that's why they're probably a little fatigued at this point, as Patterson makes a service error. Yeah, they came through against the 14th French seeds, Crow and Rowlinson. And then were winners against Fialek and Prudel. It was a long match, 54 minutes. And then beat the American counterparts, Dalhouser and Lucena. in the quarterfinals before that win over the German pair of Erdmann and Matisse. Well kept up by Alison. Just helped over the net. Can Brazil take the lead for the first time in this set? They have the chance to here. It's just dinked over. Points to the crowd, does Alison. That was a point they had no right in winning. But as so often has happened in their young career, they somehow are able to win it. Just wonder what Patterson's thinking. Couldn't have done any more here, the Americans. Didn't really do anything wrong. Back of the hand from Alison. He wasn't even looking. He's looking into the crowd. Yet the ball drops onto the American side. And for the first time, the Brazilians do have the lead. Bruno there again, helped up in the air. Bruno just going to go short. Patterson this time with the diving dig. Who's going to win this point? Bruno always in the right place at the right time. Chance to finish it off, and does. They're warming up again in this second set. 3 points in a row. Since the technical timeout, they're raising their game when it matters most, yet again. Goes through the middle of Gibb. Timeout called by the Americans. You can understand that. As I say, lost 3 points in a row. So just looking to check the momentum of the Brazilians, and as you can see there, Brazil have won 7 of the last 9 points. And having been a fair way down in this second set, find themselves in front. It's a tough sport, isn't it? Beach volleyball. There's plenty of glamour and fun to it, but you have to be fit if you want to make it at the highest level. And they've been made to work very, very hard, Gibb-Patterson. As I say, they played a lot of matches. When you consider that the Brazilian pair had a win by forfeit as well against Bourne and Hayden, they played 2 less matches in total. And also their matches have been a fair bit shorter. And you do feel that that has been a factor in this final. Sun is shining. And the temperature is rising on the court too. The Brazilians, you feel, getting ever closer to claiming yet another gold. What can the Americans do about it? That's the question. In comes Gibb. That's nice, finds the line. Stops the run of points for Alison and Bruno. Just guiding it to the side of Alison. There was just enough space to do that. Nod of appreciation in the background there from Alison. He's a great sport. Doesn't speak much English, but someone who shows everything else with how he reacts on the court and his emotions. I say, wears his heart in his sleeve as he punches his heart on that occasion, right on cue. For another spectacular spike. Look at that. So technically sound, following through. Patterson, who gets a hand to it, but really didn't have a chance of doing anything else. Bruno dropping it short. Gibb there. Patterson with the set. It's going to be difficult. And it comes back on the American side, and the momentum firmly with the Brazilians, and you just feel, are the Americans beginning to run out of belief and to run out of steam out there on centre court. Helped. It's not the best of receptions from Patterson. Tidied up a little by Gibb, but they can only find it to Bruno. That's a nice improvised spike by Alison. Another point for the Brazilians. And as I say, it may well be a question of belief to go with the tiredness for Team America. Do they believe that they've got enough in the tank to come back against the current world #1s? The team who certainly are playing the best beach volleyball in the world right now. Bruno to serve, just looking to dink it short, but instead just plays it into the net. There is Patterson then. They need to string a run of points together. Alison underneath it has had issues with his reception skills, but not on this occasion. I just think he just tends to focus a little more when the set gets towards the end. Concentration was there. They just need to keep their concentration here from now until the finish. You don't feel the finish is that far off, although this set is a lot closer than what we saw in the first. Americans just have to keep going, keep doing what they do best. Nice strike by Patterson. Here is Gibb. Down the line, and it's well left by Bruno. Very nearly caught the line. Worth a go, wasn't it? As I say, there's nothing much like a momentum shifter, like a service ace. Bruno to serve next. Goes down the middle, Patterson underneath it. Nice high set, and that's a fabulous diving dig by Bruno. And, well, I don't really need to say any more than that. It's almost guaranteed. When he picks up something like that at the back of the court, he nearly always finishes it off. That's just incredible. Those of you who are fans of your football, or soccer as you may call it if you're watching in America, know all about goalkeeping. That would have been a stupendous save. Diving down low to his right. So they're 2 points away from victory here. Make that 1 point away. Allison with his trademark block kill. Nothing Patterson could do about it. They've been sublime. They've brought their best beach volleyball to this gold medal contest, and they stand at match point. And they get Patterson sprawling. This goes up again. It's kept alive by Bruno. Are they going to finish in style here, the Brazilians? Off the net court. Patterson, though, means that we are still alive in this gold medal match. Just about. By the skin of their teeth, the Americans showing some spirit. Again, though, it was another incredible get, wasn't it, by Bruno. I think the fans here want this tournament to continue forever, which you can understand. And I'm not too sure that will happen. Second match point for the Brazilians. Crowd on their feet. Patterson to serve. Hit up in the air by Allison. Now with the spike. Make that 5 in a row. They are an incredible duo. And look what it means to them. 5th gold medal in a row. It's an unbelievable achievement. And they rightly can have a little bit of a rest. Stunning performance. They brought their best beach volleyball of the entire tournament in the final. They needed to, because Gibb-Patterson are dangerous, and they were on a bit of a roll, having got it out of their pool. But they were outclassed in truth. Wonderful display by these two stars of the game. They won the World Championships, they won in Gstaad, they won in Yokohama, and they won in Long Beach, and now they can add OLSZTYN